So the 2024 Eclipse is coming up, and I have literally been waiting 7 or 8 years for this since the last one I had a partial eclipse that came through Southern California. And so what I wanted to do is what kind of layers are in ArcGIS Online? How can I plan for the best trip? And this is by no means a perfect example of how you can use GIS and how you can use ArcGIS Online to plan your trip. There's so much more that you could do, so many more layers and data. I just wanted to dive into a couple different things that you could do to start exploring what might be some of the best spots to go. If you haven't read it, one of my inspirations for dying to go and witness be in the kind of totality of the eclipse is this famous essay by Annie Dillard, Total Eclipse. Please go check it out if you have not. So this is just searching across ArcGIS Online. So anyone can come here and hit add data and add layers. I went and created a new sketch layer to drop a pin for where my house is and where I live. And if you hit add, you can then search across any of your content or anything across ArcGIS Online or the Living Atlas. So I had just searched across ArcGIS Online for everything I found here. So first off, just by searching for Eclipse, was able to find the totality path. So this is the line that shows the path of the centrality, and then obviously getting further away from that center point, it's going to be less time in totality. But even in kind of the middle here, it's about 2 minutes or so that you would have kind of total blackout. And so for me, I wanted to have the shortest drive really possible with me and my family in the car. So it looks like we're heading to kind of Vermont or New Hampshire. So if I zoom in on Vermont a little bit, I then went and found a hillshade layer. And the goal here is that the eclipse shadow is going to pass over coming from west to east. And so I would love to be up on a little bit higher of elevation and obviously have us kind of positioned in a place that might be on the kind of west side or west face of at least something up a little bit of elevation. So this is another great layer to add in. Something else I added in were just all the roads from Vermont. So here are all the center lines of the roads, and the ones in red are paved. And then anything in that lighter shade of brown there, which is kind of hard to see, and there you go, you can see it a little bit better, are unpaved or dirt roads. So those are some spots, again, where we could get some better access to locations that might not have as many people. If I'd thought about this a bit more, and what I just added onto the map, and I'll turn off the roads, and let's change our base map, which also is very cool. We have the ability to come in here and do that. So let me change this to an imagery hybrid. And we'll go back and turn our layers off for the terrain. And so this is a little hard to see, but we actually have the trail system in Vermont visible. So I had initially thought that we would park and go hike, and I was looking for maybe an hour-ish hike up to a small peak. But again, thinking of the time of year it is up in Vermont, my two kids probably wouldn't be thrilled to go hiking up into snowpack potentially to go see an eclipse. So we'll turn the trails off. And another thing that's great is I just added on the imagery here. So one of the things I really wanted to make sure we were doing was getting to a spot that would actually have a clear view and not just be covered in forest. And then the last thing that I wanted to search for and add, because it provides for a lot of open space, are airports. So here is the airports for all of Vermont. Let's make those points a little bit brighter and a little bit bigger. So I'm going to make these just a kind of a light red color, and let's make them bump those up a bit in size. And I'll hit done. And if we zoom out, you can see where a couple different regional airports are across Vermont. And so for me, there's an airport right in this location, pretty much in a straight line from our house, off of main highways, but not right on one. And if I zoom in a little bit, You can see a lot of clear cut. And then if I go back to turn my hill shade on and turn that off, for Vermont at least, a pretty flat area with a little bit, I'm on the kind of western side, so not in shadow. So this looks like a pretty good spot. So point being, please go check out ArcGIS Online for some of your planning for the eclipse coming up. There's a lot of great data and information to help you pick kind of the perfect spot to go drive to. That's all. There's a ton of data up here. Just go explore and have fun with it. Thanks.